Good morning. I'm Sandy Walden from Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. There's a very famous quote that I don't remember precisely, so forgive me if I have it off a little bit. But it's something along the lines of, we have two ears and one mouth. Let's use them accordingly. When we are supporting someone who's grieving, everything in us wants to fix them, to help them. Bless you. There is something very special about you, caring enough to try to want to make the situation better. But the one who is grieving can't be fixed. They need to grieve and to heal. I'm reminded again and again and again, and it's certainly been my experience and that of my clients I work with, that we need to tell our stories. We need to tell our stories of loss, how it unfolded. Perhaps the person was very ill for a long time. Maybe it was sudden, unexpected. It could have been an accident. It could have been, as like my son, suicide. It could have been so many things. That might be where they start. Maybe they start many, many years ago. But we need to tell our stories. As someone who is supporting someone who's grieving, one of the most beautiful, loving gifts you can give is to listen. Perhaps you offer the cup of coffee or tea or the glass of water. Keep the good tissues handy. The person you care about may go on and on and on. They may repeat themselves, and they may not be aware they're repeating themselves. It's all part of the process. It's something we need to do. We need to tell our story until we don't anymore. It's not unusual at all for grievers to be told, let's talk about something that makes you feel better, to distract you. And that hurts. There was somebody who was very close to me at the time my son died who kept saying, well, we'll just talk about good things. And she meant well. Trust me, her heart was in the right place, and I appreciate that. But I couldn't get together with her because as much as I adore all of my sons and my husband, at that time, all of my focus was on the death of my youngest son. I couldn't talk about all good things. They were certainly part of it. But I needed to talk about how I felt. The shock. Mike died of suicide and it was unexpected. I needed to tell everything that was consuming me. I needed to get it out. When you love someone and you care about someone who's grieving, I encourage you to be that safe place. Maybe have a blanket, a pillow. Be the phone call that's available. Maybe send a text or a card. Let them know that you care about them and that you're listening. You're not required to come up with the language to fix this because it can't be fixed. There are a few things you can say. I'm sorry. I care about you so much. I know this hurts. I'm here. I don't think there's really anything else you need to say. I care. I'm sorry. I'm here. And then be there. What we need when we're grieving is a safe place to land, where there will be no judgment, where someone will not be telling us what we need to do, what we have to do, what we should be doing, where someone allows us to be the way we are in that moment. And if we come and we're telling jokes, it's okay. If we're crying, understand that is a gift of love and trust. For me, one of the most difficult and painful things is to cry in front of other people. It's really hard for me. Let me rephrase that. It used to be really hard for me. Nowadays, when I work with a client or when I work with groups, it's not at all unusual for tears to flow. Not a gusher, but definitely tears. They are a gift of trust and love. It can make us really uncomfortable when someone we care about cries in front of us. Remember, it's because they trust you. I ask you to accept that trust and to return it with kindness and compassion by just listening. I'm going to get off for now. I want to wish you a day of gentle peace and kindness. If you are supporting someone who's grieving, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you are someone grieving, look for those people who are willing to just be there. I'm Sandy Walden from Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. I wish you a day of gentle peace, love, and kindness. Namaste.